Boker Tov. We're at the beginning of the second Perek of Yona, and now Yona in the whale's or the fish's belly. Vayman Hashem dag gadol. Now remember, they threw him overboard. They were sad. They were praying, but now Yona's overboard. Vayman. This word means lehazmin, like Hashem presented and brought. Vayman Hashem dag gadol, a very big fish. Livloa et Yona, to swallow Yona. Vahi Yona bim'ei hadaga, and behold, Yona is in the stomach and the intestines of the fish. Shlosha yamim u'shlosha lelot, for 3 days and 3 nights. I'll read the next pasuk and then explain a little bit more. Vayitpalel Yona el Hashem elokav. Yona prayed to Hashem his God. Mim'ei hadaga, from there, from the innards of the fish. We say in Selichot, Anenu, right, from Yona mim'ei hadaga, right? That Yona was answered from there. He prays in the stomach of the daga. Now, Rashi points out from the Midrash something very interesting. At first it says, Vahi Yona bim'ei hadag, in the first pasuk, Shlosha yamim shloshah lelot. He was in the stomach, for lack of better words, of the fish. And then it says, Vayitpalel Yona el Hashem elokav mim'ei hadaga. He should have said hadag. Hadaga is feminine. So Rashi says as follows. Very interesting midrash. That the dag is male. First, there was a male fish that swallowed Yonah. And in the male fish, there was room inside. It was spacious. And Yonah, it didn't hit him right away, even though he was in the fish, to do teshuvah and to pray. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted him to do teshuvah. Hashem wanted him to pray, wanted him to do teshuvah. Says Rashi, Vehikiyo, the fish, threw him up. He threw up Yonah, letoch piyah shanekeva, into the mouth of a female fish. And now the female fish, shayta mele'au barin, the female fish was full of many little fish. It was pregnant. It had many little fish inside. So now there's no room in the stomach for Yonah. He was very tight in there. And being very tight, and now he prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At that moment, Ve'asham bedochak v'yitpalel sham shneimar mim'ei hadaga. At first it says dag, and then it says daga. He spit him out into the female one. He was very confined in there, and then he started praying. Unbelievable what's going on over here. The Sforno, of course, says v'yitpalel she'otziu misham. He prayed that Hashem should release him from there. V'yitvadeh v'shav b'tshuva. And at that moment, he was doing teshuvah, asking Hashem for forgiveness, that he didn't go to Nineveh. The Malbim over here explains, of course, this is an unbelievable miracle. It's something that's lo yuman. How does something like this happen? So I think I mentioned in the introduction that actually recently in the news, a few months ago, a fisherman was swallowed by a whale. He was fishing and he got swallowed by a whale for a few seconds, and then they spit him out. Go check it up online after. Something crazy. So, Yonah, what's going on over here? So the Malbim explains something beautiful and says that obviously the miracle here is he's totally encapsulated and he's nowhere to breathe. So he says that Hashem wanted him to do teshuvah and wanted him to be reborn again. And so too, we, each and every one of us, had many months that we were not breathing and we're still alive, which is when we were babies in the stomach. We breathed in a different way. We didn't have air. We weren't exposed. So Hashem gave Yonah that ability, says the Malbim, again, to breathe in a totally encapsulated place, just like a baby in the stomach. And he wanted him to do teshuvah and eventually to come out like a baby's being reborn. And that's part of the message of teshuvah as well, that we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for a new start, for a rebirth. For that's when we go into the mikveh, I always explain, you're coming out like a person that's reborn. That's what we see from the story of Yonah as well. The Gaon Mevilna, just to end, so he talks about the whole story as the neshama and the goof, that Yonah is the neshama, the body is the oniyah, was the boat. So who's the fish? The fish is the kever. That the Yonah goes now into the kever. It's being buried. And he says, that's why also it's the rebirth. When he comes out, it's like being reborn, like a tchiyat hametim. Tchiyat hametim is going to come out of the kever. And he says, what's this inyan of Shlosha Yamim? He was in there for 3 days and 3 nights. So he says, the neshama, after a person passes away, very interesting, after a person passes away, the neshama hovers over the kever for 3 days and 3 nights because it's been so used to being in the body, it's kind of like, well, what's going on now? Why am I not in the body? So it hangs around there for 3 days and 3 nights until then it goes to Shammai. That's what the Gaon Milna says. That's the shot over here of 3 days and 3 nights. We'll see more from this angle from the Gra in the Bezrat Hashem as we continue along. Baruch Adonai La'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasha omer, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את יספיך חיבה למתורה מצווה שנאמר אדון חפץ מן צדקו הגדיל תורה וידיר